Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about every game happened on Monday, March 23rd. We're going deeper and deeper into the playoffs. The first game is Detroit. They beat the Lakers without Kate Cunningham. Super impressive. Luka struggled a little bit shooting the ball wise. Still a great line, 32 points, 6 assists with 3 steals and 3 threes. And it's crazy how many games LeBron has played. Really hasn't really set out. I guess he's healthy. Austin Reeves had a decent one. Not much going on with this whole Lakers squad because everybody's healthy. For Detroit, though, Dennis Jenkins is a must roster with Kate Cunningham out. He has a collapsed lung, whatever that means. So he's going to be out 2 weeks, maybe even more. So he's a great fantasy player, as we can see here. He had 30 points. He's not going to do this every game, 8 assists, but need to be rostered. Duncan Robinson hit 4 threes. With Kate Cunningham out, I do expect maybe Duncan Robinson and the rest of the squad get a few more shots. So, if you're streaming him for threes, he probably gets a few more extra minutes. Jalen Duren had 11 rebounds, 20 points. Somehow went 10 for 10 from the line. And with Kate Cunningham out, Tobias Harris is another guy that's greatly benefit. 5 assists and 14 points, is still in 2 blocks as well, hit 2 threes. So he needs to be rostered with Tobias out, and Ausar Thompson has a steal and a block. Obviously, you have him for defensive stats. Moving on to the next game, we have the Indiana Pacers. They lost. Of course, they lost to the Magic. Oh, I'm sorry, they beat the Magic. Some way, somehow. Andrew Nembhard, if you need assist, he's the guy. 14 assists here. Had 5 personal fouls, but 13.7. He might not play every game, but he's really good to have. And I've been loving TJ McConnell's production off the bench. If you need assists and some rebounds, sometimes he gets you some defensive stats. He's that guy, 6 for 6 from the field as well. Aaron Nesmith play high minutes. I don't expect this to happen. Pascal Siakam play high minutes. Julius Walker had 20 points. But yeah, if Siakam is on the waiver wire and he's playing, definitely pick him up. And Jay Huff started this game, didn't really do much because he had no blocks. Of course, you could stream him for some defensive stats if Zubac is out. We look at the Magic, pretty bad loss. They lost, to a team, Pacer team at home. Banchero had a great one, but he took 27 shots. It just not, I like to hate on Banchero, but yeah, him taking 27 shots is not a winning formula. He's only a -4. Ideally, right? Magic got a lot of weapons. You spread the ball out a little bit. Tristan da Silva continues to play well. 5 assists, 2 steals, 21 points, and 3 threes. A must roster. Everybody else on the Magic, I think, not that interesting in them. The next one, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They beat the Sixers, of course. They got Jalen Williams back. The first game back, he had 6 assists, 18 points. They have Isaiah Hartenstein back. If Isaiah Hartenstein is on the waiver wire, you need some rebound and defensive stats. He's great. 12 rebounds, 5 assists, is still on the block. Doesn't even need to play high minutes. Shed Holmgren had 5 blocks, great. And Shea, with everybody back, right, somewhat quiet game, just 22 points. And Jeremy McCain off the bench had 13 points. I cannot trust Jeremy McCain to play 25 minutes every game. And now with all the guys back, I think Cason Wallace doesn't really have the value. He only played 22 minutes here. So yeah, if you were streaming him, I think it's okay to drop. For the 76ers, all these guys need to be rostered. This guy Marjan played 32 minutes, 13 points. Oh, you know what? Paul George is going to be back. So yeah, I think he shouldn't really have a minute restriction. So he should come back right in playing big minutes. And with Maxey out, he should have huge usage. So Paul George needs to be picked up. VJ Edgecombe took 28 shots, had 35 points. His usage is going to come down a little bit. Justin Edwards, with Paul George back, I think I would just also let him go. But Bona and Drummond, as long as Embiid is out, you could stream them. Both guys had an okay game. Actually, Drummond had a pretty bad one, because it's versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Moving on to the next game, the San Antonio Spurs. They just keep winning games and game. So easy, 136, 111. That Wemby only played 26 minutes and had 5 blocks, 15 rebounds, and 26 points. on the Spurs team, Julian Champagny is somebody that we could stream. Devin Vassell is somebody we could stream if there's a back-to-back for threes. Dylan Harper is somebody we could stream as well if there's a back-to-back. Same thing with Kelton Johnson. All these guys are high-quality role players that play 20 to 25 minutes. But I'm really only going to stream them when there's a back-to-back or if some of the starters are out. You look at this game, everybody played well. Stephon Castle hitting his free throws. That's going to be a key thing for his fantasy value next year is can he hit his free throws. De'Aaron Fox, really, really quiet. I think next year we want to draft De'Aaron Fox pretty low, like we did this year, because, when everybody is healthy, he just doesn't get the usage. He just does not. Of course, if Wemby is out, then he can kind of become a top 30, top 40 player. For the Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo really struggled versus Wemby, 18 points, but went 5 for 17. Tyler Hero, disappointing season continues. 18 points, 2 threes is okay, but we need to do more. We need him to do more. Norman Powell came off the bench, still got a lot of minutes. But on this team right now, Devon Mitchell streamed him for assists and threes and steals. And, guys like Andrew Wiggins, I don't think they're much rosters. Norman Powell, right? Points and threes. But look, if they have one game in the next 4 days and you don't need points and threes, he's a clear drop when we get to this late into the playoffs. It's about number of games and the production right now. Move on to the next one. Well, the Atlanta Hawks are scoring 146 points. Crazy. Everybody eat versus the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies right now, I really like Taylor Hendricks. He hit 3 threes and 2 blocks. Just a perfect 3-and-D guy, and he's going to grab you some rebounds as well. The rest of these guys, Ty Jerome, if he starts, you can stream for points, threes, and assists. But, if there's a back-to-back, he's going to miss a game, and he doesn't play a lot of minutes. So it's very hard for him to have, a huge game just because the minutes ceiling. Gigi Jackson had 26 points. You could have him. Walter Clayton Jr., if you need assists. But, again, you just don't know how many minutes this guy's going to play. So the strategy should be, if there's a back-to-back, you can stream some of these guys. And Taj Gibson even played 5 minutes. And Prosper, their starting center, had 4 steals. If you need defensive stats, you could stream him. He got pretty consistent 20 to 25 minutes. So back-to-backs should feel pretty good about streaming him. For the Atlanta Hawks, they after trading Trae Young, they just take the team to the next. This is another level for him. They're very deep too. And Jalen Johnson didn't even play here. They could be they could be a surprising team going into the playoffs because they are playing so well right now. And of course, playoffs is going to be very different. But, they got a couple of veterans, CJ, on the team who had 9 assists, 15 points. Great. Nikhil Alexander Walker is balling. 4 threes, 26 points, 6 assists. Crazy good efficiency across the board. Okongwu doesn't even need to play 30 minutes here. 16 points, 2 steals and block. Also play well. And Kaminga come off the bench, play 20 minutes. He does not need to be rostered. Just doesn't play enough time. Dyson Daniel also had an decent game in 27 minutes. Just not enough minutes, All right, let's move on to the next game. Let me just get all the games out of the way. The Houston Rockets, it kind of shows KD. A lot of KD's weaknesses. If there's no point guard on this team, if there's not enough playmaking, he scored 40 points, but he was a minus 18. So the starters really got destroyed here by Chicago, So it doesn't matter if KD's scoring 40. It's not really helping his team win. Shango had a big one, a triple-double, 2 steals and 2 blocks, and he went 16 for 19. It is versus Chicago, so that's understandable, but 16 for 19 is crazy. 2 steals and 2 blocks, 10 assists, 13 rebounds. What a game from Shango. Reed Shepard, what a game from him as well. Struggle shooting, but 3 threes, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. If Fred VanVleet gets traded or something, if he's on the Rockets, I think we should draft him pretty early, like 5th round next year or something. He's just a really good fantasy player. I thought he's a small dude that doesn't get a lot of defensive stats. That's not the case. He gets a lot of blocks as well. Amen Thompson too, so everybody played well stat-wise versus Chicago. For Chicago, Jalen Smith needs to be rostered. If Nick Richards is starting, you could stream him for his rebound and blocks. That's about it. Trey Jones continues to be solid, assists and threes and steals, 6 assists and 2 steals here. And Josh Giddey had a big double-double, 13 assists and 15 points. But Josh Giddey can't really be trusted next year. Do not draft him in the second or third round, right? Fourth round maybe, but he's just too inconsistent, and they're not really giving him the minutes, like 30 minutes here, but it's not consistent. I think throughout the season, sometimes he gets just 28, when Kobe White was still on this team. Matas had a decent game offensively, 5 threes and 23 points. If there's a back-to-back, you could stream some of these guys like Colin Sexton for some points, but it's hard to know. Are they really? Are these guys gonna play 2 games this late in the season? Moving on to the next one. Well, the Utah Jazz is involved. The Raptors gonna have a good time. Sanjo is a perfect matchup for him, so it will be a great stream if Pirtle was out. Scotty played well. Everybody played well. And Jamal Shead, what a game from him. He had 14 assists. If you need assists, he's a guy that you could trust. But I think Emmanuel Quickly probably is going to be back soon. For the Utah Jazz, Filipowski, good enough. He's absolutely must roster. 8 assists, 4 assists, steal. But he just does everything. Obviously struggle here, 2 for 10. Ace Bailey absolutely popped off. I like John Conchar as well. So for this Jazz team, Brad Sensabaugh came off the bench at 24 points. So I like Brad Sensabaugh. And, with all the guys out, I like Kennedy Chandler if you need assist. I know we never heard of this guy before, but look at the numbers. 9 assists, 3 steals. I don't think, honestly, a lot of these guys are coming back. So it's a good stream. And then let's see what happens. If next team he doesn't get minutes, it's okay. You drop him. But he's played 2 games so far, and I have no idea who this guy is. But consider Jazz is purely, they're in a pure tanking mode. I wouldn't be surprised he averaged 7-8 assists, in the next couple of weeks. Harkless also, and this guy Benz was a starting point guard, but he doesn't get assist. We know Isaiah Collier, if he starts, he's gonna get a lot of assists. So pay attention. And John Conchar, I also like him. So I think it depends on who is starting, and we can then stream accordingly. Moving on to the next one, the Warriors, they beat the Mavericks in overtime, 137-131. Still no Steph Curry. Porzingis had a big game, 22 points, 5 assists. He's actually playing 30 minutes, so great. I mean, must roster, of course. Podziemski had 10 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal and a block, and 20 points. Also decent. Draymond Green had a good game, and Moody out of nowhere had 23 points, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, and 4 threes. Moody is just super inconsistent, but I guess playing a bad Mavericks team, every once in a while he's going to pop off. That's why it's worth rostering. But if they're playing a good playoff team, they get blown out. But however, when you have Porzingis, it's a huge now team's going to have to double him, then everything opens up. So it makes a huge difference, I think. So yeah, stream these guys for sure. D'Anthony Melton struggled, but do not do anything stupid. He had 7 turnovers as well, but he had 5 assists and 3 steals. He had 6 rebounds as well. For Dallas Mavericks, Cooper Flag, what a game from him. 9 assists, 2 steals, and 32 points. As long as he's playing, you should be very happy. Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, these guys could be streamed, but they're in and out of the lineup. So just make sure you check the lineup before you stream any of these guys. Christie had a good game. Everybody did. Move on to the next one, the Brooklyn Nets. Wow, this is funny business. 99-134. Can you trust anybody on this Brooklyn Nets team? Not really. I know I said like Nolan, but he goes 0 for 9 here, plays 60 minutes, had 5 assists and steal on the block. If you need assist, you're really trying to win assists, you could have him, and some steals and threes as well. Otherwise, this game shows it is a back-to-back. So I don't know why. Maybe that's why he played a little bit less, or he was horrible. The coach decided to play somebody else. But that's what you want. You want him to play horrible. So I would not stream anybody on the Nets unless there's a back-to-back, even that it's hard to predict who's getting minutes from game to game. For Portland, Danny Advia, 10 for 12 on the line is good. Donovan Killigan had 7 blocks, won a game from him, 15 rebounds. He's been crazy good in the last couple of weeks. So, struggled a little bit offensively, but 7 blocks is crazy. Joe Holiday had, a decent game. I think we still need to roster him. But Matisse Thybulle is somebody, if you need, the only thing you need is steal and blocks. You could stream him. If Robert Williams is playing, you could stream him as well. The last game of the night, the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Clippers. No surprise. And, Kevin Porter Jr. was out. This guy, Jang, he's been starting, getting some quality minutes. 7 assists here is pretty impressive, but I think for the most part, he doesn't really contribute enough. So I think if you need some counting numbers, you have better options. But on this team right now, don't really like anybody. Miles Turner is not a must roster. He's not really blocking enough shots. He's not playing enough minutes for us to justify the rostering him. But of course, if you're trying to win blocks and threes, he's on the waiver wire. You got to pick him up. Bobby Portis is somebody that we could stream if there's a back-to-back. Gary Trent Jr. if you're looking for threes. But again, you just don't know how many minutes these guys are going to play. And they get blown out a lot. For Clippers, they're winning games. That's great. Brook Lopez, Derrick Jones Jr., those are the guys I would stream. And Chris Dunn, of course. Kawhi had another good game in 25 minutes. Kawhi has been so good this year. 3 steals and block, 9 for 9 from the line, 28 points. This Clippers team, they're going to go into the playoffs. And when you have Kawhi, let's see. If they play OKC in the first round, it could be an interesting series. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.